Hey everyone, it's Drew here again with another Carowinds review. It's 2021, and with the new year, the future looks brighter than it ever has. My wife and I went to the Welcome Back weekend, the soft opening for pass holders, and while it isn't perfect representation of how it'll be the whole season, it's a good window into how the park will be ran. First, before you can go into the park, you must have a reservation. To get a reservation, you either need to buy a one-day ticket to the park. This will automatically reserve the day for you, or if you are a season pass holder, you will need to go to Carowinds' website, to the reservations section, and then reserve the days you plan to go. You can reserve up to 4 days at a time. Once you use a day, you can reserve another day. Days do run out of spots, but hopefully this will be removed as the season continues. As for entry, masks are not required in the park except when you are in a building. The mask mandate was lifted the day before Welcome Back weekend, so the timing couldn't be more perfect. Employees were at the entrance yelling out the rules to all the park goers. There are no temperature checks, and we walked right through the metal detectors. As long as they didn't go off, you didn't need to take anything out of your pockets. You scan your season pass as you normally would, and you're in the park. The whole process was much faster than normal, and I hope it stays this way. Ride-wise, a few are still closed, namely Carolina Sky Tower and Windseeker, but none of the major rides are affected. This is in part due to the labor shortage currently going on right now. You'll notice this while at the park, that some rides are being ran with fewer employees. The major one I noticed was Fury. Didn't have anyone regulating people going into the queue at the gate. You could walk into any train number, and it led to people flooding the first and last train spots. It also takes significantly longer to load and get off of some rides. Fury 325 was a bit slower, but Carolina Gold Rusher and Carolina Cyclone were about 10 minutes slower than normal. Don't get mean with the employees. I heard several people complaining and dehumanizing the workers, some even getting really aggressive with them and in their face. So please be respectful. They are just doing their job as fast as they can in regards to safety. Line wait times ranged anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes. There simply aren't that many people at the park due to the current capacity limits. If the rides were running at regular speed, then line waits would be closer to 10 to 30 minutes, but they were having difficulties with the ride operations. Out of the 2 times I went on Fury 325, both times the ride broke down or was having issues. I was stuck at the end of the ride, waiting for it to pull back into the station for about 10 minutes, just sitting in the Carolina sun. I got burnt pretty badly due to going to the park for 2 days in a row, so make sure to bring sunscreen. I wish I hadn't forgotten it myself. A major question people had was, how does the season pass $50 credit work? If you had a season pass in 2020, then you were given a $50 credit on your season pass. It can be used at pretty much any location and works on food and merchandise except for third-party vendors like Rita's and Dippin' Dots. You also can't use it on add-ons like dining plans or fast passes. If you need to check how much is on it, simply ask an employee at the checkout of any store. It'll be the last option on their screen when they scan your season pass. We personally used part of ours on a shirt for my wife and got one of their new extreme milkshakes. They are about $12 each, and the one we chose, called Colossal Monster, was vanilla flavored and had Oreos around the rim and a cookie on top. It didn't hold together well, and honestly the taste was mediocre at best. It's such a far cry from the ones at Hershey Park in quality. I don't recommend these as they're somewhere in the 3 to 4 range out of 10, but I've heard varying opinions on this item, so if you're curious, go for it. I'd rather use my money on better quality sweets like Rita's or Hershey's ice cream instead of the novelty of these milkshakes. As far as changes, they have added a Hershey's ice cream stand near the front of the park. There's a stand over by Carolina Cyclone that sells frozen bananas, and the salads in Harmony Hall are now either pre-made or build your own with very limited options. There's a new sign by Nighthawk on the water which looks great. You're able to see the new attraction, Boogie Board Racers, from several parts of the park, and it looks like it's running well. Carolina Cyclone got a new train, so I gave it another shot, and it's just as bad as I remember. I hit my head 4 times against the headrest and slammed my head into the sides of the restraints 3 times. I couldn't get rid of my headache for the rest of the day. I got lucky though. My wife had the same experience, but she had earrings in. It was so rough that it actually bent her post, so after the ride not only were her ears throbbing, she also had to spend time bending her earrings back into place. This is my first year buying the season-long fast lane passes. They were $350 a piece, so $700 in total for me and my wife, but so far it has been worth every penny. We got a 1-day free Fast Lane Plus 2 years ago for renewing our passes, and we didn't get much use out of it because most of the rides were closed that day. Getting to use the Fast Lane passes for opening weekend, I can't imagine going back. Being able to walk onto anything at any time is such a big time saver that I can't recommend it enough if you have the ability to drop that kind of money. They do sell out of the season-long Fast Lane passes, so get it sooner rather than later. my final thoughts. It is such a great feeling to go to Carowinds, maskless and enjoying everything as I normally would. Fury 325 is just as great as I remember it being, especially in the front row, and so is Copperhead Strike. Carolina Cyclone is just as bad as I remember, and I still refuse to ride Vortex. Fastlane Plus Season Pass add-ons is something I'll always get in the future. It is definitely worth going to Carowinds this year, and I can't wait to see you there. I hope this helped you make a decision, or gave you better insight into the park this year. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. If you have any questions you'd like answered, or suggested topics, feel free to post it in the comments under the video. This is going to be a great year for park enthusiasts, so until next time.